So we do have a lot of resources in there. For folks who are doing genealogical research, I'd like to point out these resources here. The naval documents, the American Revolution. There are other collections, the naval documents from the War of 1812 and other things which have been written and compiled by the Department of the Navy. There are similar histories of the world wars and others. And so what we did for ShipIndex is that we took the vessels that are mentioned in these indexes and put them into the database. But there are so many people who are mentioned in these indexes, and this is a 12-volume set. And similar for other resources as well. If you have an ancestor who you believe, especially if you think that they were involved with the naval side of things in the American Revolution or the other wars for which the Navy History Office has collected information, they can be fantastic resources. And because they are published by the US government and are not covered by copyright, you will find them accessible in HathiTrust and other resources online. So that's a resource that I think people don't always uncover. I think it's really, really valuable. Let's see, what other questions? What was our next one?
The next one was, can you identify ships by location such as ports or shipyards? And then we've got a couple more that are coming in.
I think the others are similar, right? The questions about shipbuilders and shipyards.
Yeah.
The short answer is that we can't usually do that. And I'll provide some examples of why now. Constitution is probably not a good one to choose because we're going to find so many entries for it. But just on absolutely every nuclear U.S. nuclear sub is going to be in the database because we've got collections from the Dictionary of American Naval Fighting Ships, so they will definitely be in here. I want to clarify the difference between these entries here. The entries that you see up here, these four are specific hulls, a specific vessel. USS Constitution is currently in Boston Navy Yard, and this SS Constitution, an ocean liner built in 1951, and this Constitution, which is a brig, which was listed in, this is from the Mystic Seaport records, I believe. Okay, so we know this is what we know about these ships. What do we know about these ships? Well, this one, we know actually quite a lot. This is a small amount of information that appears here. If I follow the link to Wikidata, I can see all of the information that is recorded in Wikidata about it. Just briefly, you know about Wikipedia. Wikipedia is an encyclopedia. The primary Wikipedia site is in English, but there are Wikipedia entries in many other languages. There are many other Wikipedias in many other languages, and they are not just translations of the English language Wikipedia. This is a list, 34 entries. 34 different languages have got entries about the USS Constitution, the specific vessel that's in Boston. So here's the entry about USS. No, it automatically translated for me. I apologize for that. Here's this is from fr.wikipedia.org. Okay, so and each of these are different. They tell different stories. They talk about the same thing, but they tell different stories. And what is really useful to bring all of these together is a database of information. So you don't have a discussion here. You've got specific things. It is a museum ship. It is a warship. There's various other bits of information here, and it will include, of course, the builder whose name escapes me at the moment. Well, it's designed by Hart, but so I was thinking this is an interesting database that could be used in some cases to find the information that you're looking for. I might be getting a little bit too far in the weeds here, so I apologize. I did want to highlight, though, that when you look at this ocean liner, for example, on Wikidata, you see a lot less information about it. But you do always have it's just data, it's just specifics. And then all of these ones down here, the only information we know is what we have pulled from the indexes. So if an index included the shipyard in their description of the vessel, and all of these, none of these name no information at all, then it would be included in here. But for none of these don't have 1816 from Cranberry Isles, Maine. Let me just jump ahead a couple of pages because obviously there's a lot of pages. When I get here, we'll find more specific info. So I could connect this US and Guerriere. Obviously, we're talking about this one here. So what I'm going to do real quick, here it is. I'm going to copy that Q identifier. I'm going to send myself a note about this one, report an error. I can connect this to, let's see if it'll let me just, it's not letting me submit the issue. I don't know quite why that is. Okay, sorry about that. I'll have to investigate that. The point that I'm trying to make is we don't know, on a broader level, we don't know which vessel we're talking about here. It's pretty safe to guess. Obviously, there's a lot here that I could connect. Most of these are the USS Constitution. Looking for somewhere I don't know. Here's a Constitution of Barkentine, okay? We don't know which vessel that is, and so we don't have any information about it. The Wikidata site could have some information if somebody had connected it, but the broader point is there is no way through ShipIndex to search for individual shipyards, generally speaking, because that information was never provided to us. Similarly, there's not information about ports because this is a mention on page 540 of this Constitution, this brig from Cutler's Queens of the Western Ocean. Well, it doesn't say anything about what port it was in at that particular time or what's being described. Maybe it has no reference at all to that on the page. We just haven't collected that information. So I'm afraid that's not a great answer, but that is a specific answer about why we're not finding that information and don't have that information in the database.
There's one about, would you please quickly run through the possibilities for searching through for passenger names, like if you were searching for a specific passenger?
So the best way to search for passengers' names, in my opinion, is to go with the big genealogy databases with Ancestry, Find My Past, My Heritage, Family Search, etc. My focus here is really on maritime history and making maritime history research easier to do.